What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Maganda Forever podcast. My name is Invincible.
I'm Matt Modoc.
I'm Sister Supreme.
And today we will be going over a couple things. We're going to go over all of the 4 episodes of WandaVision. We're also going to be going over the first issue of Last Ronin. And we will, if we have time, we'll be going over top 5 comic book martial artists. But
our top 5.
Yeah, we'll get into that too. I was wondering, do you mean like who we think would be ranked like top 5 if they were in a fight, or is it like
either one? I was just gonna do my top. I'm gonna do my top 5 favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is across different brands, right? Not just DC or Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay. Because my top 5 is just Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I
was like, spoilers.
Just kidding.
Would he be a martial artist?
Nah. Yeah, we'll go into that. But first, we can talk about, I would say let's talk about Last Ronin, because that's a little shorter, and then WandaVision will take a little bit longer.
Yeah. So, and as of this recording, there's only one issue of Last Ronin so far.
Yes, correct.
We're gonna dive right into it. Okay, let's do it.
So for those of you not aware, Last Ronin that we're talking about is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles limited edition run, right? There's only 5 issues in total.
It's something like that. It's not going to be like a full like
arc.
16. Yeah, it's not a full arc or anything like that.
Got it.
Oh, someone just tipped 5 tokens. All right, that's 5. That's 5 tokens. Oh, okay. 5
We're gonna get censored.
Hold on, I'll do that.
That's 5 tokens. That's my shirt off.
Gross. Cover yourself. No one wants to see
that's what
Modoc.
That noise was. My bad.
You could have said, "Oh, that's our thank you to our subscribers. That's our appreciation bell."
No, dude. That's the token bell.
Gross. How would you know that? That's gross.
All right, well, this is good.
Leave all of this in.
I'm not gonna edit this out. This is gonna stay in the podcast.
Especially his.
I'm glad this is happening. Let's take a short break to talk about how terrible Wolverine is as a character. So
he's short, he's hairy.
First of all, he is a martial artist. He's a master martial artist, but he always seems to lose because he doesn't use anything he's learned because he's a dummy. He's probably the stupidest person.
He lived for so long. He has to have how much experience, especially his time in Japan. But
in the X-Men encyclopedia, I don't know if you still have that, or do I have it? It's yours.
You have it. It's
okay,
mine, but you have it. You also have my Batman
so
one.
So his martial arts, his fighting mastery
Scale.
is out of 1 to 10. It's out of 10. So he's a martial artist. He's a martial arts master. But he always seems to lose because he relies on his berserker rage and brute strength and healing factor. He doesn't really focus on technique.
Yeah. Do you think some of that is his like instinct, since it's so animal based, that he just goes berserker to begin with and doesn't have the discipline?
I
I was thinking if it was just like about discipline, or like, what's the thought? I lost my train of thought, but yeah, like if he learns all this training, but then he just gets so mad.
Listen, it's like a hot girl in life. She's not going to learn any useful skills. She's going to get by in her looks.
There's no repercussions.
It's the easiest route. It's like Wolverine. He faces a bunch of lackeys, so he doesn't use his technique because he just berserkers through them all. It's the easiest route, path of least resistance, and that's what Wolverine does. That's why he's not a great martial artist. He's terrible. He's the worst character ever written.
I was wondering if it would also be a bit of the whole repercussions thing that I said. Like, if you keep getting injured, but it doesn't put you down, then why do you need to use special technique? You'll just keep coming at him.
Well, because if he faces an enemy who's likewise powered, but has better technique, then what's he going to do? You can't really power through someone who's powering through too and has better technique.
That's
like
true.
we saw in Enemy of the State when he fought a guy named Gorgon, and he basically had the same powers as Wolverine, except he was also a martial artist that was a masterful martial artist, and he had the power of turning people to stone with his eyes. And so,
Medusa.
yeah, and that was the one time I saw Wolverine actually use his brain to outsmart an enemy, not just berserker barrage through him. And
So
that,
the
in
only
short,
thing
is why Wolverine's the worst hero I've ever read.
I was gonna recap it for Invincible. The last time you sat down, we've just been talking about Wolverine and how he's terrible at martial arts.
Seen your avatar on Disney Plus, and I was so tempted to change it.
Hey,
like a dead
Iron Man
skeleton. 3? Yeah, I finished it.
Oh, okay, because I was like, wait.
I'll just
I'm
throw
not
random
watching
movies
it.
on in the background when I'm playing Avengers.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I was just wondering. I was like, wait, I haven't watched Iron Man 3. Someone is. I forgot I gave you the thing. I was like, oh shit.
How are you gonna bash Wolverine for being like so bad, and then you're playing Avengers?
That is fun in its badness. First of all, and you know what's funny is that on the Play Avengers Reddit for the game, they were so tired of not having content that they made this bet where if Hawkeye comes before March, then everyone who thought he was coming everyone who thought he was coming before March has to donate to the Stan Lee Foundation, and then anyone who thought March, they don't have to donate. So they made like a bet out of it, and it turns out Hawkeye's coming in March, so a bunch of people are donating to the Stan Lee Foundation.
Hey, at least they're putting it to good use. That terrible
People are
game
like-
is making a social impact.
Some people are like, "This is endgame content." Like, yes, absolutely. Probably the best thing that came out of the games comes from the community because they don't talk to us.
What if the person who put forth the idea is a dev, even though the devs don't communicate directly? That's just awful.
Anyways,
All right. Sorry, the fire alarm went off.
okay,
so-
we're not cutting that off. That's
The fire alarm went off and Wolverine's terrible.
good 5 minutes.
That's all you
5 minutes
missed.
of trash and Wolverine with no comebacks.
It's just MODOK talking about how mad he is. how skilled in knowledge he is about martial arts, but how little he uses it, basically.
Tell me
Hey,
more
that's
about
facts,
how this
dude.
is
That's
how
facts.
you're good at what you do. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Hey, that's facts though. I can't defend him, but yeah.
All right, we were talking about Last Ronin. What were you saying? Did you want to give a quick rundown with the premises?
Yeah, we can do
sure.
that.
Do you
So
want- who do you
starts out with a turtle, and you don't know who he is because he's wearing a black bandana. Sweet
Mhm.
Louisiana.
want? Papa was a hoppa and a mama was a
Right, dude, black bandana. And you don't know who he is. He's talking to people, but they're off panel for a few panels. And then you see that there's turtles, but they don't have. Do they have bandanas on, or are they
They
wearing
have
black bandanas
bandanas
too?
on.
They do,
They
but
have
it's-
bandanas on, but it's not colored. Like most of them is
Yeah.
not colored.
And eventually, I mean, you start to catch on. If you don't know anything about it, you'll start to catch on that they're already dead, and he's talking to the 3 dead turtles, and you don't know which one the live one is.
And the
So you're
live
kinda
one,
trying to- Good.
the live one is like very battle scar. Like the city he's running around in is very futuristic. So this is set like way in the future.
Yeah.
And you're trying to the whole time you're trying to find out who this turtle is based on his dialogue with the imaginary turtles and his inner monologue. And obviously you're going to be surprised who it is because that's how it's pitted. Unfortunately, it's not who I wanted it to be, but I'll let you guys go on with that.
I have one brief interjection, and I won't spoil it right here. But I was trying to look up when the next issue is released because I was trying to buy them in bulk to load up on it before we started this episode, just to see like, is this the only one out there? This is the only one I see in the store, but the store wasn't showing like future publications. So I Googled Last Ronin with nothing else, like no other. Like I think I said release. I think I said release date, but the very first entry had like who the turtle was, parentheses Last Ronin, and I was like, mother! I was so mad.
So
it
when
was-
is the next release date?
February this year, so not too
Okay.
far
So
away.
it's coming up. It's coming up.
But yeah.
Were you guys correct in who it was going to be? Did you already know who?
Well, I got spoiled before I read the issue. So
Oh, you're out of it. Vince, who
Yeah.
did it match up with who you were guessing it was?
It did not, which I really.
It wasn't Wolverine.
I
Dang.
liked. Yeah, dude, Logan, Turtle, yeah, dude.
So you said
Yeah.
it wasn't who you liked, but were you correct in who it was going to be when you were like guessing beforehand?
No. So I thought because of the dialogue, it was like really kind of dark and it was kind of gritty, and then it wasn't as Michelangelo like, like he's very happy, he's very energetic, and it was basically the opposite of that. Spoiler
No,
alert.
it's fine. Whatever.
So originally I thought it was just Wrath right away.
Well, that's what they lead you to, like, because he's
Yeah.
the gritty brawler.
grizzled.
Yeah.
Which I also liked too, that it wasn't kind of the obvious choice.
I thought that, I started reading some, like, after I read the first issue, I read some speculation on it. And they were saying ahead of time, like the creators were talking about they wanted to do a Michelangelo was last alive, or some of them, they were hinting towards it, like way back in the past. And so that's how some people knew. But I really thought it was going to be someone else, because the way some of the off-panel turtles were talking, like someone made a joke about something, and I was like, oh, that definitely sounds like Mikey. And I was like, who else would make a joke like that?
Well, when you actually went back through each panel, like after they say who it is, like they say who it is in the very last panel of the very last page on the first issue. And you go back and he isn't using any of Michelangelo's weapons. He uses he's
using all the
he uses
turtles,
every other turtle's weapons or modified versions. Like in some cases, like it doesn't really look like Leo's swords, but it's like modified. It's like a combination of like Leo and Donnie, I think. It's like because like a kind of staff like or something. But you don't ever see him use nunchucks.
Yeah.
So it's like his whole fight progression. So throughout the issue, he's going through this futuristic city, but he's actually trying to chase down the Foot Clan, and more specifically,
you find out it's being ran by Shredder's grandson. So Shredder's daughter's son is the new leader of the Foot Clan, and he's like in some high tower that Mikey has to get to, and the whole way there, he's like just talking to the off-screen turtles.
Of like how he's going to get in and how he's going to get past the guards and stuff.
And at one point, I was convinced it was Donatello who I wanted it to be, because at one point there was that jokey Mikey, that joke that sounded like it would come from Michelangelo, and then there was some tough talk which obviously sounded like Rav, and then some of the strategic talk was like, okay, that's Leo. But at one point, one of the turtles, besides Mikey's joke, at one point one of the turtles was like, all right, let's hack this terminal. And then Last Ronin says, oh no, we don't have any time. So I'm like, he knows how to hack. I don't think Mikey ever learned how to do it. Maybe he did. I guess that's, but like at one point I was convinced it was Donatello, and Donatello gets no love. I really was hoping.
Love Donatello.
Yeah, he gets no love. He gets no love.
Mikey, Raph and Leo get love in the movies all the time. Doesn't matter if it's the reboot or the old. They always give them to the spotlight. And then Mikey got shine in the new Ninja Turtle cartoons that were on Nick, I believe.
Yep.
And
I think so.
Yeah, they really showcased Mikey in there really well, but none of the media really shows how good Donatello is, and he's like the smart one. I feel like if they really put some effort into it, they could like make him kind of like a Sherlock Holmesian type fighter, where like he can put his intellect into combat. Maybe not to that degree, but like, or even like, let's say they could have wrote my ideal concept would have been it's Donatello. And then he's struggling because it's in a futuristic world, right? So he's struggling with the technology. Maybe it could have been like old ways versus new. Maybe he could have like been like, okay, stealth. The reason we got killed is because ninjutsu isn't as viable anymore. So maybe he starts
repurposing.
Maybe he starts to implement some stealth tech into his tactics so that he blends old with new, and then that's how he can kind of survive in the real world. And I feel like it would have been perfect. It gave Donnie some spotlight.
Kind of missed the opportunity.
But at the same time, like if you look at how Mikey's portrayed in all across the media, I kind of like it too, because in the Ninja Turtles cartoons, the newer one, not the ones from like way back when, there was an story arc where it was the Turtles and they were in a tournament against like different fighters from across the like universe or whatever. And they had Usagi Yojimbo, the ninja,
nice.
the samurai rabbit, And it was at one point, I think they either explicitly or hinted that Mikey he had the most fighting potential because he's like the most creative. But he didn't have as much focus. So at one point it was him versus Raph, and he was kind of like dicking around, and Raph was going hard, like, and then Mikey kind of like he beat him by like
did something unexpected. Yeah.
Not unexpected per se, but he used strategy, and he has just innate creativity. So like he has unlimited potential. He's kind of like Sakura from Street Fighter. Like she has unlimited potential,
that
but
makes
she
sense.
she hasn't put it into motion yet.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like where Mikey is. So that's going to
Just
be interesting
unfocused.
to see unfold in the Last Ronin. And I think it was on the.
That'd
I
be
mean,
cool.
when you look at it, it's going to be obviously they're going more dark. So it's if you look at it just on its face, you're like, okay, who's the least dark? Mikey. So it's probably Mikey if they want to shock everybody. So at the same time, I think it would have been even more shocking if it was Donatello, because he's kind of like jokey like Mikey, not so much. If we're going off the
He's very nerdy. He goes on like brainwave tangents.
I like the Corey what's his name? The Corey, the actor from the movies.
I don't.
Oh.
Not Corey Haim.
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
I don't remember his name,
I
but
can't.
his Donatello was hilarious. He would make like little wisecracks here and there. He wasn't overtly goofy like Mikey, but he had these little wisecracks, and he was, he had the whole intellectual thing going. So I thought if they kind of went with that kind of Donatello, that would have been nice.
Was he the
That would
one?
make-
Was he the one that was like, yeah,
yeah, and he was just like.
yeah? Was that him?
I'm talking about the first movie. He wasn't
okay.
he wasn't actually a voice in the second movie. He was in the first and the third. I can't remember his name. Could you look it up real quick?
Okay. But yeah, on that wavelength, if you do him that way, it's more Batman than Sherlock. Like it's more innovative fight tech versus like, oh, if he does this, then I like deductive reasoning.
I just want a good Donatello story, unless there is one that I'm not aware of. I'm not really into the lore of Ninja Turtles, but it would have been really nice if Donatello got some shine, and that would have been it.
This is a good start, though.
Yeah, it is.
I think
really good.
it's surprising. I just like the darker tone, like right away. And
well, I mean, Ninja Turtles in the comics actually is the darker tone, like it's always been.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So the cartoons were a complete 180 of the tone of the comics. Back in the comics when they first came out, they didn't even have different colored bandanas. They were all black.
Yeah.
I do like that the animation for like when it shows the other turtles in the background, or when he has that, like it's very like they're all uniform. Like I even tried to look at to see any differential marks or anything, and they're all drawn pretty much the same, but they're definitely drawn younger than this like ravaged turtle that you see in the beginning.
That's one of the things I jotted down for like the things that I liked about this issue was the art style, the way they depicted how it is the rest of the turtles. They're always behind him.
Yeah.
And it's they're not the same color as him. So you can kind of tell that it's, he's
his psyche.
picturing them.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I was trying to find a way to put it in without cutting someone off, and you just balls in.
It just came to me. Corey Feldman. Yeah.
It came to you, or did you Google it?
I didn't Google it. I just see me typing. Right here.
I Googled it, and I was trying to find a place to put it.
Yeah.
So towards the end, he almost gets to the top. He gets knocked off by a big ass like Mauser, and then he's about to die. And he's about to kill himself in the sewer. But then
he's about to commit
blood loss.
I thought.
Yeah, he's about to commit seppuku. Yeah,
that whole scene where he just like lays out all the weapons.
Yeah,
and all the bandanas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so is the if I remember, he has Leo's sword, but it's not the full sword. It's like
no, it's broken. Yeah,
it broke during fighting, but then like he has this like weird brawler that looks like it's supposed to be a combo of like Leo and Donatello's.
He should have went out like a man and choked himself with the nunchucks. That would have been sick.
How do you put enough pressure though while you're passing out?
Anyone could cut themselves with a sword. Get the fuck out of here.
And didn't he have those? I don't know what the term is called, but it's like the batons that the cops have.
That's
where it's
what I was.
The
that's what I was thinking of.
Okay. Because I was trying to think like, so whose weapons are those? They're not.
Probably just stock weapons he had with him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's about to kill
Yeah.
himself, passes out from blood loss, so he can't. Wakes up at the end, and I really like that April knew exactly which turtle it was, even without the bandana.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, it's like the baton.
The nightsticks.
Mm.
So,
But it
that
the
was
design of
cool.
it kind of makes me think of Donatello. Like,
I think you're just seeing the purple in the
Maybe.
black. But yeah,
I
I'm
like
kind
how
of
it was-
interested
it
to
was
see who
April.
else is alive in this universe besides him and April. I'm hoping Casey
Yeah.
Jones is alive. But
Hey,
remember,
Casey
one of the things-
Jones.
that was one of the things I wrote down was like
yeah,
that one
Jones.
girl.
One girl was like Jones. They called her
Yeah.
Jones. So I'm wondering if that's
Yeah.
Casey's daughter.
That's what I
That's
wrote
a good
down
catch.
as my theory is that the goth girl was somehow related to Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And that
So,
just leads to like all of the other questions that I wrote down was like what happened to the turtles? What happened to Splinter?
We can
Why
speculate. What do you guys think happened? I mean, besides
So
obviously them getting killed by a foot.
I'm wondering if like the reason why he's like alive or hard on himself or something is like he's somehow separated when they were attacked.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
somehow he was like not there when they got attacked and he was out doing something else or whatever. Like, yeah.
When
So I
what
don't
makes
know.
you what makes you
Something.
think that? Like, what part of the story specifically gave you that
I-
inkling?
I don't know. I mean, like, because he's carrying all of them with him, right? So, like,
There's
I
like a
mean,
guilt.
yeah, there's like, I mean, like, of course, all his brothers are dead. His father's dead. He alludes to that. I don't know if they all died at the same time. It sounds like the turtles at least all died at the same time. And I don't know how he would like have been so injured and healed alone and not with like April or someone else in their like life or whatever. I don't know. I just have a feeling that like he wasn't there in the ambush.
I think that maybe it was. I mean, he's always been the turtle who's never taken it as seriously as all the other turtles. So maybe that's why he feels guilty. Like if he would have just been more prepared and more serious about training,
Yeah.
maybe that's where his guilt stems from.
Okay.
There was something where he said like it was like I failed you or something like that, or like not again. Like there's something in the that he said, and then so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what kind of made me think like what along the lines of what Monica was saying was that maybe he, just like you said, Matt, maybe he just wasn't as prepared, but then that also led to him being separated, or maybe he got knocked out while the other three were still trying to
Yeah.
fight.
Mhm.
And then by the time he woke up, maybe that's when he saw the rest of the brothers all dead or something like that.
Yeah. It would make sense if that so there's this random girl that you alluded to, then they just say her name is Jones. But it turns out that she's the one that has the link to April at the end. It would make sense if that was Casey's daughter. Because like how else would you know that this underground revolutionist, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And she did distract the
Yeah.
foot
And she
so that
pointed them at the
Mikey
other
could get
direction.
away.
Yeah. Oh, and like just a part of all the futuristic stuff, all the foot is like cyborgs, like they're half human. So this is definitely like some future time.
Yeah, and the flying cars and stuff too.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are some of the questions I had. Was like, so what happened to the turtles? What happened to Splinter? What happened to Ernie Reyes Jr.? What happened
But I can fight.
what happened to
What happened to Danny? What happened to
Yora.
Super Shredder with Kevin Nash? What happened to
Vanilla Ice singing Ninja Rap?
They have the canister.
What happened to there's that
Oh,
guy.
Ah,
Oh,
mama.
Damn, son. Man.
A question that I had, and I haven't read TMNT comics. I don't know if this is standalone. Did Shredder have a daughter? Like, was this part of canon, or is this part of this arc?
I think it's canon,
I
and
don't
it's
know.
also in the cartoons. Like in the newer cartoons, there was a girl. I forgot her name, but she's supposedly Shredder's daughter. Or this may even be from the CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like live movie that came out in like the early 2000s.
Okay.
2007, 6.
I don't remember the details.
And it's Shredder's daughter running the foot, so I think she had the son. I think.
So she she's the one that's in that chamber,
cryo
right?
chamber. Yeah, she's somehow on some kind of futuristic life support.
And then
It's
Mr. Freeze
Damian
is
Wayne's running it. Shredder
That's what
is
I was
weird.
thinking. I completely had Talia vibes when they had like the mother and like the dark
Dude.
I'm
sun
pretty sure
or whatever.
it's Victor Freeze, and he's trying to. But
my
I
goodness.
really like where it's going. I think this is going to be a pretty dope comic. Can't wait.
I honestly wonder how they're gonna fit everything into 5 issues. Like
Well,
there's
that
so
one
much they
alone
covered
was
in the
really
first
long.
one.
That
Yeah,
one was
they-
like what, 56 pages or something like that?
Yeah, they covered a lot in that first one, but I'm still like, there's so many unanswered questions that I want to see more info on.
Yeah, which is good.
So-
That means it's a good start.
It's unfortunate that it's a small run, but we'll see.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think 5 issues is plenty, especially with how long the single issue was.
It's true.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of it was just him getting around, and like a lot of it was him jumping and shit.
It was very exposition. He was
Like-
talking about like so and so Shredder's daughter's bastard son or
Yeah.
whatever.
If they
Like,
wanted to, they just cut some of those out, put some exposition in there. It'd be fine.
yeah.
That's true, dude. He was jumping around like it was Minority Report. Dude, just
For
on top
real,
of cars.
Yeah, he's just everywhere.
I'm gonna spit out my water. He has to steal an eyeball, get the precogs out there.
Stupid.
April.
That's good. I'm glad whoever, if it was you, Matt, I'm glad you suggested it to talk about. It's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's my first comic back after so many years, and it's
Yeah,
not even
same.
superheroes.
I know, same. I think I
It's
read
so hard because this is a standalone, but like everything else is like ongoing. Like, where the fuck am I gonna jump in on the new 52? Like, what? I don't even know what the
Yeah.
hell's happening in DC right now
Yeah,
or Marvel.
it's ongoing, but it's like redone and like reconfigured every time I try to read stuff on like even just like the comic staples of like, oh, Magneto and he has 2 kids. Wait, they're not really his kids. Wait, they're
Yeah.
his kids again. And then now he has another kid. And it's very confusing.
Yeah. But anyway, so going on from there will lead us to actually you want to just hop off?
Oh, I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Check this. Oh, are we gonna hop off right now?
Oh, wait, go ahead and show us.
We got
are you
5
gonna show us
minutes,
some
so-
Avenger stuff?
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to show you that I updated my screensaver to
Ooh,
include Kate now. Kate's in it. She didn't.
Nice.
She didn't used to be in it.
Yeah,
Wait, is Cap just wearing like a regular helmet, like he's a construction worker? Like,
Nah, dude, what are you talking about?
That's
Oh,
like
never
the
mind,
old
never
like
mind.
World War II. Like it looks like the old hat he had in the first one.
oh, I didn't see the goggles part. I thought it was
Yeah.
just like a regular like
Construction
hard hat.
hat.
I was like, what the hell is this?
I like how Kate's just wearing shades.
I wanted to wait till they fixed Hulk's glitched hair, but apparently they're never gonna do that because
Because that game is
we got a
awful.
hard part?
Yeah. he's got a Hitler slick hair right there.
So my first impression from the first episode, I was like, And then every episode since then, I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was taking me forever to finish it because the first 2 episodes I was like, this is pretty good for a 50 sitcom. When is it gonna get into actual MCU stuff? And then like by the 3rd, I was like, I need more. And then it was only a 4th after that. So like, you really have to get past the first 2 before you're really into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really trying to find like different things because it's Marvel. There's like hints everywhere. But most of them were actually caught by Mar, which like he also has a comic background. He stayed with it a little longer than I did. But when we're watching it together, like especially the commercial breaks, like he'll catch stuff in there that's like not as in your face as some of them could be. So that's what I'll say about that. I know, special guest. From the beginning, I was pretty into it. Even though it was like weird, like Bewitched, I Love Lucy vibes for a while. Like, but it's just because I wanted to know like what happened.
Yeah. And it sucks that they have to do that. Their format is, like weekly episodes, But I mean,
Yeah.
I like it. I like that you can't binge it because when all the shows start dropping, that's gonna be hectic as fuck, dude.
Oh,
trying
yeah, that's true.
to binge all
Yeah.
those shows. No, thank you. I would rather
Yeah.
watch it like serially,
Yeah.
It'll
like
prob-
old shows. That'd be cool.
And business wise, it would probably mess with their ratings if you're pulling your audience between different.
I also think they're making it purposely like that because they're gonna tie in with the movies that are coming out. That's why they're
Yeah.
pushing back the shows. I think the shows were done, but I feel like they pushed them back because all the movies got pushed back and they're supposed to coincide in some way.
that makes a lot of
total sense.
sense. I'm sure they're gonna incorporate a lot more stuff regarding that in like Falcon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, makes complete sense.
So we can break it down by episode if you guys want to do that. If you wanted to do like maybe the likes, dislikes that you guys thought about for episode 1.
So,
Go ahead. You can start it off, Monica.
okay, right off the bat, the biggest question that everyone had is this House of M? Like, is this what we're seeing Marvel's version of the comic arc House of M, where something happens to Wanda? It's a traumatic experience. It was very different in the comics, but she basically creates this alternate dimension where things go her way. Like her family's together in the comics, like, and it's just her own powers of bending reality to make the story that she wants.
You know what I thought of? I thought of in the comics, it's no more mutants, and she freaks out and gets rid of like how much of the mutant population. I was thinking in this, what if she creates the mutants? Like
That
she's
is exactly what I wrote down in my theory. Yeah.
I had that thought
that's
too.
how they're gonna introduce them.
I had that thought too,
Mhm.
especially because they linked her mutation to the stones. Like
Yeah.
there's not really mutants in their universe until you get to like how the stones affect people.
Yeah. And like maybe the stone, it awakened her actual innate mutant abilities. You know?
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool twist.
Yeah.
But so right off the bat from episode 1, I really liked how it was very unique. Like I didn't know how they were gonna do a sitcom style. Like it didn't make sense to me like why, but I think they really are pulling it off. And I think it's going to eventually make sense. And I have some theories about that too. But I think I really liked the funniness, the
writing was good.
the creativity. Yeah, the writing was hella good. And like I forgot how funny Paul Bettany was.
Oh yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah.
But I like that they tried to very much stick true to the era that they're in for that episode. Like I need to do more research to see if this is true, but I heard in an interview that they actually did use like black and white recorders to do like all of the black and white episodes. I think I have to check. But I heard that in an interview.
Yeah, dude, the production quality is off the charts because like even the telekinesis, it looked like it was on strings. It was like moving awkwardly. Like it wasn't smooth like movie magic CGI. It was like, you know, it's like jerky, it's like rigid. So like when Wanda was putting the crib together, like it was kind of like jerky-ish and it was kind of stiff. So I was like, dude, this really feels like the sitcom of that era.
Yeah.
I really appreciated those little differences.
Yeah.
Same. Did you guys notice any Easter eggs in the first episode?
There is one that someone had mentioned that I specifically was looking for. And this is the only one that I really was able to catch, was the wine bottle when they're at dinner. It translates to House of M.
Mm-hmm.
So it's French for House of M.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, that was the only thing, because I specifically was like, is this House of M? Like looking for if anyone has any ideas. And I guess in one of the trailers when they showed that dinner, some eagle-eyed viewer had zoomed in and was able to.
I don't know. That's French, right?
That's awful. You know what that is? That's awful.
Stupid.
I think
it means who are you?
I did like some of the familiar faces from sitcoms, like Mrs. Hart.
Oh,
what do you mean?
Mrs. Hart. It was odd that she wasn't. It's Kitty from that 70s show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty Foreman. Dude, Agent Woo's hilarious in everything he does.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but he is.
We don't need to go over do we really need to recap every episode? The gist of it is that, okay, they start off in black and white. It starts to become color, and then slowly but surely, the reality is trying to penetrate Wanda's like facade that she's creating, and that's why the color comes back, and that's why everything starts to change. But dude, when what's his face came in, I'm trying to remember
Agent
the
Woo.
guy's. I'm trying to remember his real name, Randall Park. When he comes he's like Agent Woo.
Yeah, he did the magic trick. He did the magic trick
with the close-up magic, dude.
Yeah.
It's a nice Easter egg with that. Yeah.
I called that out tomorrow. Also, I was like, he did the magic trick. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, Ant-Man.
He's like, yeah. How'd you do it, Scott?
I saw a meme. I think Monaco, you'll get this, but I don't know if Matt, you'll get this. But it was like, it's good to finally see John Krasinski in the MCU, because Asian Jim.
Yeah, Asian Jim.
Yeah.
There's a cold open of The Office.
Yeah.
There's a cold open of The Office where that actor comes in and portrays John Krasinski, and he's playing a prank on one of his coworkers, and he goes through the whole thing like, you mean you never noticed I was Asian? Props to you for not seeing race. And he like really makes that coworker start to doubt himself.
Yeah. I only watch good shows. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, hell no. Okay. Moving on.
Moving on. So Smallville.
Yeah, you know Smallville.
But dude.
You don't need to go
I like
over
that they
every
brought
episode.
in all the peripheral characters. Like, it was cool to see Darcy back.
When I saw, when you see Darcy in the van.
Okay, Dr. Darcy. Okay, did you blip? How many years did it take for you to get your PhD? Get the fuck out of here.
Did she blip though? Did Darcy
still,
blip?
I don't know. That's the thing. But even if she did it in 2012, she was still a student, I believe. So like 9 years. Is that long enough to get your PhD?
It depends on how far she is in the study when she was in Thor.
But she's still
she could be post.
Oh, she's post grad. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're right. Okay.
Yeah, but when they brought in Darcy, I was like, "Hey, it's Darcy!" And then again, Mar was
cool.
like, "Who?"
Yeah.
He catches a lot of stuff from the comics, but he forgets a lot of stuff regarding movies.
I didn't recognize any of the other scientists in the van. I don't think those were anybody.
The other female looked familiar. The other female scientist looked familiar, but I can't remember if she was just in something I had seen or if she was in something in Marvel.
You really trying to tell me you couldn't get Dr. Selvig? Come on.
The bald guy who was in the van, and then he was like, he said artificial intelligence. Yeah. At first, I thought that was the same actor, or like a nod to a character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know you guys don't really watch that anymore, but in one of the seasons that I did watch, there was a bald guy who was a AI. So I don't know if that's the same guy or something.
To me, he looked like the Asian Winter Soldier. On the dude on the ground, like, specialty Wing Chun. Nothing science. Punch shit.
And then for the one of the commercials where they talked about like the soap and stuff like that, I think that was a nod or Easter egg to what happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because there was one season where Phil Coulson, he was brainwashed, and then they did that through soap. And like
soap. I forgot.
Yeah, and one of the things, so it's Tahiti.
Yeah,
it's Tahiti, and then in the commercial it was like Bermuda. So like that's one of the Easter eggs.
That was a good catch. One of the commercials that we watch, like, you know, when it's the watch commercial, and like obviously you see the Hydra, but when it said Strugner,
Strucker,
yeah,
Aaron Strucker,
yeah, that was cool. And then the toaster, if you guys remember that one,
Stark, yeah.
It had the,
but it was the sound,
sound.
Oh,
of his blasters.
I didn't even notice that.
Iron Man's blasters.
I didn't even notice that. That's funny.
It was that, and then also from what I saw online, like there's a beeping, and it like kept getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
They were saying that that's like a nod to when Wanda was talking about how she and her family were trapped, and then they were next to the Stark bomb. And then the bomb was like getting closer, and they weren't sure like if it was going to go off.
Yeah.
So that was something
for 4 days for Stark to kill us. I don't know.
Hey, where's the accent? Where's the accent?
No,
it's
it's
a sitcom.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the accent's gonna come back after the color. It's coming back.
It
Yeah,
came
yeah.
back a little bit. I mean, like with that nod.
I mean,
that was
technically
the,
it
that was
did
the
when she was
first time-
singing the lullaby.
Well, yeah,
Which
that
is
was the
cool.
first time that she had mentioned her brother.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was the first time she had mentioned her brother since, like, I think they only really mentioned him immediately when like Hawkeye was like, "Oh, I have a debt to pay because he saved me" or
Bro,
whatever.
that
But she
last,
never talked about him again.
that last episode, I was starting to get horror film vibes.
Yeah.
Dude, that was sick.
with
That
with
was
the
sick.
with the vision. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
that's
scared
I was
me.
like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you guys notice? Did you guys notice every time?
I think
it
Multiverse
changed-
of Madness is gonna keep that same vibe. It's gonna have like a slightly eerie,
Oh, yeah, dude.
horror,
Yeah, I think
Unsettling.
unsettling. Yeah.
Did you guys notice that every time it changed dimension or perspective, that it changed the dimensions
camera?
of the camera?
Oh,
Yeah.
I only noticed that once. I thought that was deliberate. I don't think it kept doing
It's
it.
no, it's deliberate. It happened again this last
I only noticed
episode.
I only noticed it once.
So it happened when she got kicked out, and then you see her like rolling on the floor at the end of episode 3. And then in episode 4, it happens when you actually see her confrontation before she throws her out of the dimension.
You guys think Vision is alive?
I think that she's trying to reconstruct him.
I think she's just using the dead body as his stand-in.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because when it
I
glitched
believe
like that, I really thought
And it
was
showed his
just her.
face.
Yeah.
But then
she
you-
didn't
you
look.
can
She didn't
see-
look surprised. She looked unsettled because she realized that the illusion was wearing off. She didn't look too surprised. So
Yeah.
I thought that maybe that's what she was doing. Because at first I thought everyone was a construct, and then we start seeing that they're disappeared persons. So those are stand-ins. She just brainwashed them all. But for
Yeah.
Vision, I feel like she's just using his dead body. That was kind of.
But I wonder, like, I do think that she's using his dead body, but there are some instances where he has more autonomy than the other people who are brainwashed. So I'm wondering.
He does trying to get her to realize. So I'm wondering if maybe
That's
he's
her
Yeah.
just coming back to
subconscious,
life.
dude. That's
Oh,
her
you think?
subconscious.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Oh.
I think her subconscious is trying to tell her, like through Vision,
That makes
it's trying to tell her
sense.
that it's like she's
Yeah.
like she's having a breakdown. But then also there's one theory where it was like she actually went to a different universe and then brought that Vision into what's going on right now.
Oh,
But I don't know how that one
Yeah.
would work. But
Because
then
they
the
would have to
second one-
have. Sorry, go ahead.
Another one was that she somehow used Vision's consciousness and then is putting that into the dead body of Vision.
That's kind of what I originally am thinking, is that like she's trying to reconstruct him, and then him trying to find out what's going on is actually Vision. But it also makes sense if that's really her subconscious trying to like gently break it to her that like this is not the reality you're living.
So I think the
Yeah.
natural progression of the story is going to be, okay, so she's freaking out. She's doing this herself. Let's get an Avenger to come in here and reach her. And I think that's how Doctor Doom, that's how Doctor Strange is going to come into it. That's my theory. I don't know if they're going to do it like
That'd be
this
really
season.
cool.
I feel like they're going to need someone. Maybe they bring in like a low level, maybe like Hawkeye to get in there and try to get to her because they had a kind of a thing relationship.
That was one of the theories I wrote down, was that we're at the end of this, we're going to see one of the Avengers.
Yeah.
come
I think
in.
it's going to be Doctor Strange to finally get through because, she's going to feature
Yeah.
in his movie.
Yeah.
And he's going to teach her I think he's going to teach her the
Mystic
mystical
arts.
ways to try to control what it is she has inherently
Yeah.
going on. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the obvious, but I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see how it
There-
goes.
The other
I don't know if they
theory,
would go that way right away on the first
Yeah.
season, but who
Yeah.
knows how contained the
other-
series are.
the other theory, not necessarily a theory, but another common thread that I'm seeing online is like the only other person that kind of has their own autonomy in a lot of places is Agnes. So a lot of people are thinking like, is Agnes Agatha Harkness?
Yeah, that's one of
So-
the theories I saw.
Yeah.
They never
So-
named her in the when they're doing the missing persons. They never named her.
They
Yeah,
never
they didn't
named
find
her. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know who else they didn't find was Dottie.
Oh,
If you
okay.
noticed that. And so
I did
one
not.
of the theories, I'm sure you guys have heard like some of the theories of like who the big bad is, maybe
Oh.
pulling the strings,
Mhm.
is Mephisto. So they're thinking that
Yeah.
Mephisto is Dottie because she said a couple things like on the episode where they introduced her, she said like the devil is in the details. And then she said, and then Agnes was like, "That's not the only place where she is," or something like that.
Yeah. Well, doesn't if she is Agatha Harkness, doesn't she also have ties to Mephisto in the
Yes,
comics?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And then uh, the twins were made from Mephisto's soul or something like that in the
Okay.
comics.
I will
So there's
say
that tie-in.
I will say originally when we were watching it, Mar and I both had the same like what's it called when you misremember something but you both do it? I forget what it's called. Like Berenstein versus Berenstain.
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
we had that happen to both of us because we both knew that she had twins, but for some reason we both remembered it that she had a boy and a girl. So it's
No,
like a
that's
repeat
not
of Pietro
Tommy
and
and
her.
Billy, Wiccan and
Tommy and
Speed.
Billy. Yeah.
And I'm getting hyped that they're gonna start new Avengers because we got Cassie Lang. She's gonna be Stature eventually. We got Wiccan and Speed.
Wiccan and
then
Speed.
we got Kate Bishop and Hawkeye.
Mhm.
So they're
Well,
really
and then
putting
we're
together the
also-
Young Avengers. I'm kind of getting hyped for that.
Isn't
I feel like they
Yeah.
might introduce Eli in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Eli who?
Eli Bradley. He's the son of the Black Captain, or not? I think the grandson of the Black Captain America, Elijah Bradley. I think his name was.
Oh.
And so Eli
Iron-
Bradley is the captain. His name is Patriot, I believe.
No, Iron Patriot. Isn't that
No,
isn't
his name
that-
is just Patriot.
No, I mean, aren't they bringing in Iron Patriot? Isn't that also
Iron Patriot is a freaking War
That's
Machine. What are you talking about?
Osborn.
or not Iron Patriot? What who's the female that they said she's
Ironheart.
like Ironheart,
Oh yeah, the female Tony
Iron
Stark.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Did they?
side note, they're doing a Iron Man Armored Wars.
Okay.
So,
I saw a lot of
yeah.
speculation. I need to see if that was confirmed, but I thought Ironheart was the next branch of Iron Man now that he's gone.
Young Avengers.
I'm excited.
And with
And-
maybe Spider-Man leading it.
That would be cool.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool. To be like the veteran of them.
Yeah.
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 That's
That'd be
probably
funny.
way down the line though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kevin Feige said like they're not doing any Avenger type movie for a long time.
Yeah.
They have to
I can see that.
establish the new core now.
Yeah.
Like all the OGs are gone.
Yeah.
For Ironheart, I didn't read the comics for it, but is she really the daughter of the scientist that was captive with Iron Man?
I don't know any of that
No
story.
clue. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Because that would be really
She's
cool.
not a very popular character. She's not written
Oh.
very well.
I don't know anything about it, so. But I mean, I'm all for more female female characters.
How do you
I
guys
think-
feel about Chadwick now being recast?
I'm wondering how they're actually gonna go with the storyline. I heard that they were thinking about
Because on the one hand, it's respectful, but on the other hand, it's like, damn, we can't see Black Panther die on screen. It's kind
I
of
know.
like, it's kind of it's touchy.
yeah.
It's,
Well, there was
tough
talk
line.
of there's talk of replacing the Black Panther thread like with either M'Baku or
Shuri.
his sister. Yeah, but then
Yeah.
like all that anti-vax stuff that the actress was posting kind of put her out of the running.
Which actress?
Shuri.
She's an anti-vaxxer?
I think so. It was either
Oh,
anti-vax.
no.
It was either
Oh, no.
anti-vax or some kind of media posts that Mar was telling me about. He said she was posting some very inflammatory things that Disney doesn't like, and she was kind of put out of the running for the next Black Panther.
Oh,
That's-
all it takes. man. That's
Again,
all it
I need
takes.
to look more into this, but that's as of this recording, as much as I know.
Letitia Wrong, am I right?
I think if I were to choose, I would like to have her as the Black Panther because it makes sense in the comics and stuff too. And then I saw something that Michael B. Jordan is like kind of open to it, but I don't
Recast
know how
him
that
as
would
Black
work.
Panther?
I think he would come back as Killmonger.
Oh, as
but then
Killmonger.
He would
Be-
take the mantle.
Oh, that would be
as
kind of
Black
cool.
Panther.
I wouldn't mind that. If you
I
like
kind
kind of
of-
reformed,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I thought that the third person in the running after Shuri was taken out was the love interest. What's her name again?
Oh,
Because she has fight
Yes.
experience and she has leadership experience, so she
Oh,
could be
oh.
the next Black Panther.
yeah. I'm
So
not sure.
Nakia.
Nakia, thank you. I'm super interested though. They did those really, really well. So
But moving back to WandaVision, one so do you guys like that it might be Mephisto pulling the strings? Do you like that theory?
Yeah,
I'd
hell
be
yeah.
I'd be into it, especially if it brings in mutants. Like, I mean, there's a lot of mutants. There's a lot to play with. So
Yeah. I think
But I
I think
want
it's
them to
pretty
go.
dope
I
too.
want them to go theology based. Like Dormammu was cool, but he was kind of more dimensional. He wasn't
Yeah.
like. I really want them to go to hell and like have that demon
Yeah.
part, just so that
Yeah.
when we get into hell, sorry, not Hellblazer, Ghost Rider and stuff like that, the more occult like Blade, it has more
Yeah.
weight to it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think that theory is pretty solid because there's in the future in Marvel there's so many things that kind of involve kind of demon type stuff, and then even like Mephisto, he has ties with Spider-Man, right? And then he
I think
has
everybody.
so.
ties.
Yeah, he's gotten every.
he
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
In
So, I mean,
Spider-Man, it was
makes
the
sense.
One More Day storyline where
Yeah, exactly.
Aunt
Yeah,
May dies, and then he's like, "You can have her back, but you and Mary Jane won't be in love anymore."
yeah,
And that was his tie to Spider-Man, and I know he's shown up in Daredevil. Yeah, he's kind of everywhere.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it makes sense that he would be the one kind of pulling strings. And
It makes sense from a mystical point of view, but I just don't want him to be a mystical only villain. I want him
Yeah.
to be more occult.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that well, especially with talk of Ghost Rider and Blade coming back into the forefront, like that would make more sense to make it more like in that realm instead of
You guys
just
hear the
like
rumors
mystical.
that you guys hear the rumors that Keanu is going to be Ghost Rider?
Dude.
No, I didn't hear that.
So basically, there was I think Kevin Feige confirmed that they had Keanu Reeves just on like
Retainer.
on call. No, they had him on call for whatever. Like, we want you, we just don't know how we want you. So stay put.
Or
Like,
like
stay
who?
stay tuned. We're gonna try to find a part for you. So
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
basically he was number one in line, but they didn't know what role. And
Yeah.
Nice.
the rumor now is Ghost Rider, and I feel like that's confirmed because Ghost Rider's name is John. I'm calling
That'd be
it right now.
really that'd be really cool.
How many
that'd
times
be
has that
really
been John,
cool.
dude? Johnny Utah, like in John
John Wick.
Constantine, John
John
Wick.
Constantine, yeah.
This is Johnny Blaze, dude. I'm
Johnny
calling it right now.
Blaze,
That he
yeah.
is Keanu, dude.
I would
Keanu,
love that.
Keanu Blaze right there, dude.
I would love that.
off
for sure.
topic, but I heard this recently and I couldn't stop laughing. The makers of that Cyberpunk game had to put out an official statement to gamers to stop having sex with Keanu
They
because
took it out.
apparently
You can't fuck him anymore.
he's a romantic option, and they did it too much, and they didn't listen to the statement that they took it out.
Oh my god. See, I would love that though to have him in the MCU.
To sleep with him.
Yeah, to fuck him.
Both,
So they-
both. Yeah, both.
They took him out of the MCU because people kept fucking him.
Yeah. Do you think he's I mean, I don't really know how old he is, but do you think he is a good fit if they're really going to use him for the next couple movies or something like that?
He's
I mean,
pretty
you know what I mean?
fit.
Like,
I mean,
MCU
he's still-
MCU always finds a way. Like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a young Johnny Blaze. They can. I mean, Nicolas Cage was how old? He looked old
Yeah.
even after the CGI and whatever they did to make him look younger. I wouldn't mind Keanu Blaze, dude.
Yeah,
I
ready.
would love that. That'd be dope, dude. I would love that, dude.
That's
We're way off
hilarious.
topic.
So that would make sense though for Mephisto and stuff like that. And I don't know if you noticed too, but that stork, every time
Yeah.
Wanda tried to do the magic, it
Yeah.
didn't work. And then it had like a red smoke. So I was like, okay, so is it Mephisto red?
Well, I thought that it was her powers.
thought that was just her,
Like she
like,
kept trying to
she
do her
couldn't,
powers, so she tried
But
to
it didn't
use
work
it.
because it was Mephistork, dude.
Just stork, dude.
The powers don't work on him.
It's Quackheart.
Stupid.
That'd be
Yeah, so
really
what
interesting, though.
what other theories do you guys have? Let me see what else I have on here.
I had something that came to mind, and now I need to find it again because I forgot. What do you think happened to the beekeeper / agent? Because
I
she
think he just got folded in. Like, he got brainwashed too.
He's
well,
in
because
there.
she said no, and she basically rewound it. So
Rewound.
wouldn't that
I think they
rewind
folded him
out
in
of
somehow.
the-
I bet they folded him in somehow into that
Okay.
world. He's just like
Okay.
walking around brainwashed too.
Yeah.
I did like that you see it in terms of like editing, because like Wanda's the one who's editing the sitcom, where it's like, oh, it rewinds or it time skips. But I like that on the other side, Darcy was like it's just a cut. Like they just
that was cool.
cut it for the and then I did have one more question for you guys, because the way that they filmed it, it kind of made it seem like the person with the notebook in episode 1 at the end was Darcy, like closing her
Yeah,
notebook.
that was her. Yeah,
It was her.
Okay, so I just wanted confirmation, because like there's all this stuff about Hydra, and it could be Wanda just because she was raised with Hydra, or like not raised with Hydra, but she was captive by them for so long. That's why there's Hydra ties. But do you think like who
No,
else
that
is
was
she
Darcy.
broadcasting this for?
That was Darcy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of Agent Wu's questions on the whiteboard, one of the ones he also mentioned was why a hexagon whenever it zooms in.
Yeah.
That could also
It's a
be
hex,
that
bro.
too.
It's a hex.
Or oh, I guess for her powers.
Yeah, what's going to
I
be a
was Hydra.
spellagon? A trigagon?
Hydra?
I saw
don't
that
know.
it would also it's like a reference to the shape of the stone. I don't know.
Was
It's
his
like a hexagon
stone
type
a
shape.
hexagon?
Was it?
It was more
Like
like
a
an
diamond.
oval diamond thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What was another question I had? Oh, so one thing I kind of noticed too is with Vision in I think it might have been the first or second episode, he had like super speed. He like caught the thing that was falling off the table, but he never in the MCU said that he has super speed. So I was like, wait, so is it Wanda thinking of her brother, and then because she's making a Vision, she incorporated both her brother and Vision into
Oh,
one?
interesting. I never got
was-
that. I just thought
I
that
was
was a part
wondering-
of his. I just thought that was a part of his power set, but since they didn't feature Vision two individually, besides Ultron and to an extent Infinity War, I guess. But I think that's just his power. Like he has that
It
power, but
could
it's
have
never been. But that's a
Yeah.
good read. I didn't even put that together.
I was
'Cause I did
wondering
wonder
if it's
why
just
not
him.
Pietro in there too.
Yeah, I was wondering because like if they're as while she's bringing people back, like why not bring back her twin?
Oh,
Like,
damn, I didn't see that coming.
One thing I did want to ask, because I just pulled up a clip, and we can return back to your questions, Vince. I kind of skipped you, but I pulled up the whiteboard. We talked about most of them, but it says same time and space question mark. Is time and space the Infinity Stones that they were influenced by? I can't remember. Like which
No,
one
it was,
influenced Wanda and which one influenced?
No, there was Mind that was in Vision,
Okay.
and it was fuck. What was the Tesseract? That was
I
space,
don't-
right? That was space. So
Okay.
it's space
Yeah.
and Mind.
Okay.
Yeah, there were. What were the other questions on there? It was like.
It says why sitcoms, why
yeah,
hexagonal
also
shape.
For sitcoms, I think it's because maybe in Sokovia that's what she was watching.
Oh,
like, as
nice.
a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
for like
what,
America.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I think the sitcoms mean.
That's smart.
What else? Well, one thing too I noticed is like a lot of the times it looks like Vision has a remote. Like he's the one turning off the screen
At the end.
in a way. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if that's symbolic or something.
Yeah.
What else? What other questions were on there, Monica?
Why hexagonal shape, which we already kind of covered, is just a hex, possibly. Why sitcoms you just covered. Time and space, I thought it was related to the stones, but it's just like they're just wondering why this area. And then is Vision alive?
Mhm.
So I really don't know.
One thing I liked about the last episode too was like the opening scene where people are coming back from the blip.
Yeah.
shows
That was really
you see
well
them
done.
That was so
reform.
dope.
Yeah.
Just that scene,
So
it
dope.
was so powerful.
So
Man.
dope. I hella like that scene.
That was a good scene. I
Yeah,
completely forgot about
was
that.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Mara and
Did
I
you
were
guys
talking.
know-
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Did you guys know like right away that character was Monica Rambeau?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't put it together until I like looked online and stuff. But I don't really know that much about her character. But
Me
she
neither.
apparently she has powers like in the comics.
Oh, did
And
you?
So
What are they?
I don't know what they are, but I think she took over as Captain Marvel at one point.
Oh, okay.
But if you notice on the plaque of her mom, Marie Rambeau, it says Maria Photon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's her name in the comics. Like her
Oh.
superhero name was Photon.
Okay.
So that could be a hint that she's gonna somehow get powers. Maybe it and then also when she came back from the blip, the dialogue was she was remembering her memories and stuff, but that was from the Captain Marvel movie. So that was kind of cool. Like it was direct. Yeah, so like when she was getting put together from the blip, you can kind of hear
her childhood dialogue. Is like
wait, was she in Captain Marvel?
She was the little girl.
Oh, she was. Oh, snap! I have. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. That was her.
I didn't put that together.
So you actually hear Brie Larson's voice. So that was
directly from.
Got it.
Dude, I didn't even put that together. Oh, and then the mom is her friend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't even. Yeah, I haven't seen Captain Marvel since like when it came out in theaters.
I wasn't even thinking that. I didn't put that together. Tell me why I couldn't relate that girl, but then I could relate who that random kid was at Iron Man's funeral. Like I caught it immediately who that kid was.
Yeah. So that's her character and stuff. So I thought that was cool how they introduced her and stuff.
It's a good series if you can get past the 2 episodes. It's just really slow, but then after that you're wanting more because it feels like a lot like the show Lost. Once you get into the mysteries and stuff, I really got a Lost vibe from it, especially when it's like someone watching a TV in third person. That part was really Lost-ish.
Do you think that Hydra is involved in any way, or if it's just her subconscious from?
I think it's just the programming,
captive?
the mental programming that she had.
Yeah, when she was.
on.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
true. But that also kind of reminded me when you said Hydra, because remember in Winter Soldier, that one guy was the main Hydra. The guy who was Nick Fury's friend. Redford.
Yeah.
You know how he I forgot his name in the movie, but Robert Redford, I think that's his real name.
Oh yeah. Pierce, Secretary Pierce.
Yeah. So do you think the acting director of Sword is could be another like Hydra agent?
I don't know. That'd be interesting if they did that.
I kind of got the same vibes. Either that, or I put that maybe he's a Skrull.
Man, that's gonna be wild when they fold Skrulls into the mix. That's gonna be. They got to do it the right way. They're really gonna have heroes out here being Skrulls
instead of just at the end when they're like, I didn't know what to say. When it was like being Fury.
Yeah, because Monica Rambeau was saying that like there's allies, so she obviously knows.
There. Yeah,
because
Fury.
of the movie, and then so I wouldn't be surprised if someone high up there in Sword is a Skrull, because also Nick Fury is up there in space.
Didn't Fury found Sword after that? Like is that what the program is in space? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's in space and then it's run by Skrulls. I think it looked like he was the only human.
I was thinking
there.
Patch for some reason.
Patch?
Yeah. I don't know why. His eye.
Oh, stupid. Oh my god.
People against thermonuclear. I don't know. Patch. Everyone's just walking around. Yeah, I got both eyes. We just have to do this.
Stupid. Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Oh, and then also, because I just watched the episode before coming on here. If you remember when Monica Rambeau was talking to the agent, the acting director, like kind of their dialogue was like, so how's the astronaut training program? And then the guy was like, well,
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, we lost some of them to the blip. And then so I was like,
that together.
So yeah, is that a sign that
that'd be great.
We're gonna talk about.
Even though I don't fuck with Fantastic Four. I feel like a really good Fantastic Four, I'd still be like, get the fuck out of here.
How many iterations have they done already?
To be fair, they haven't done them justice at all. Like we're still
Yeah.
waiting for a good Fantastic Four story, but even then, I feel like a good story, I'd be like, I don't care about these people.
I think Chris Evans should be a. Maybe
Maybe
that's why he's in talks with Marvel again.
and just be doing the same like lines. I could do this all day. Flame on.
No, it's gonna be him and then Michael B. Jordan just looking at each other like, what?
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
But I think that's, let's see if I had any other questions, but we went over a lot of stuff like the theories. Let me see.
Theories and how bad Wolverine is, and
It's terrible. It's like, we get it, you're a badass. And you got claws. Okay, cool.
So if you think that she, oh, I also liked how when she was like, when she said no, I thought that was kind of a nod to No More Mutants. I don't know if that,
could be.
yeah,
pretty good.
that was cool. That was cool.
How do you think it's gonna? What do you think is gonna trigger that moment? I mean, they're already hinting it's House of M. What do you think it's gonna trigger? I was curious as to what triggered this breakdown. Do you think
That's what I was gonna say.
grief over time, or like something specific triggered it?
Because at the end of the movies, she has that heart to heart with
Yeah, she's
Hawkeye.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
she feels
coming.
okay, yeah.
She's coming to terms with the
Yeah.
loss. So like, the fact
Maybe
that
it is
the
Mephisto. That makes me think it's Mephisto. Like he's just preying on her, whatever she's
manipulating
feeling at
her
the time.
psyche.
Yeah, whatever
Well,
she's
it's-
feeling at the time, he's kind of like playing on that because she seemed fine at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Do
never
you
know.
think? Do you think? Because like they said that it's a WITSEC person. You don't think Wanda was the person in witness protection?
No.
Who do you think the person in witness protection is that Agent Wu was so concerned about?
I honestly
that they
think that was
lost
a
contact
throwaway.
with?
I think that was a throwaway line. I think that was a throwaway line and
Think so?
throwaway plot. I don't think it was
Is anything in Marvel throwaway though?
Yeah, it is. They have a lot of throwaway stuff. You don't have to read into
Alright.
everything. I think that was just throwaway because they weren't still
Only-
looking for that person.
That's true. Well, I mean, there's a whole phenomenon now, like a whole.
I
like,
think that was just there
Crown
to
is
bring you
missing.
to the phenomenon. It was
Alright.
an intro or segue into what's really going on. It was nothing, nothing big there.
All
Don't
right.
look there. Nothing to see here. Disperse.
There's a theory I saw where this actually takes place after Doctor Strange 2. So it's the result of what happened in Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe she did learn a little bit, but then she's trying it out and then she's just like fucking it up, and then that's when Doctor Strange has to go back to help her or something like that.
Interesting.
You know what? You know what it could have been if it is like she's learning under Doctor Strange already, and then she starts experimenting. What if she does what you said, where she goes to an alternate timeline, finds Vision, and it fucks her up again?
Yeah. And then at the same time, like Mephisto is kind of like noticing some things and notices her potential into darkness, and then he's also like fucking her up, like pulling strings also.
I don't know anything about the Loki series. Do you think that's going to tie in anywhere? Because that's really Loki getting the stone and
Maybe.
Cap going back and staying. That's the only branches that we have from the main timeline. So I'm wondering,
I
like,
think he's
how
gonna play
each
it.
one.
I don't think he's gonna feature though.
Okay.
It could be. I think I saw somewhere. Oh man, where's that link that I saw? But it was like there was a still. Someone took a still from the trailer in Loki, and there was like a picture that might be a hint of Mephisto. So like
Oh.
maybe it's something that Loki is talking to Mephisto about, and
I mean, that would make
therefore it
sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot to look forward to. The Marvel drought is over. there's a
Oh,
lot.
do you guys see the in Disney Plus they had a section for Black Widow? So I think the movie's coming to video on demand.
The
Yeah,
movie's coming out this year in March, I think.
but they weren't sure if it was going to be only theaters or
Oh,
if they were finally going to bring it to Disney Plus. So I think
Yeah.
they actually are going to bring it to Disney Plus because there's like a
Dude,
little
that's
announcement.
awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it
can't-
would make sense. They already did it for Mulan. Like,
Yeah, I think they're just holding out to see, if
Yeah.
they can
of course.
get some type of numbers back, because they spend so much money on there. But at this
Yeah.
point, they just need to set it out.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen to AMC after all the stock market nonsense. Yeah.
So moving on, we can talk about top 5 comic book martial artists. Matt, you want to lead us off?
Oh, no,
on,
now
like,
it feels
maybe what
weird.
your-
This is a weird segue.
Yeah.
Why don't
This is-
we?
This is a new segment that we're trying to incorporate in each
All right,
episode,
let's
which is
let's
top
tailor it to the
fives.
theme of the podcast. Let's do top 5 mystic arts practitioners.
Ooh, curveball.
All right, that's too many. Do I even know 5? Let's just do top 1.
Top 1 mystic arts practitioner.
I'm gonna go Constantine. That dude's pretty cool. Every time I watch the Justice League cartoons, he's
He's pretty funny.
he's easily the best character featured
Yeah.
in there.
That's a good
I
one.
didn't mind Keanu's Constantine, even though it wasn't comic book accurate whatsoever. I'm gonna say
I still watch that one when it's on.
That's a good
Oh
one. I mean,
gosh.
so for me, I don't really know that many, and I don't really know that much about Dr. Fate. I don't know that much. The only person I really know most of is probably Dr. Doom, if anything. So he would probably be my choice.
Would Etrigan be a mystic arts? I would probably say him. He's pretty wild.
just because he has to say a poem every time. It's like, fuck, I gotta say this again. Can I
No,
just
but I
read?
mean, like, whenever
No.
when you think about it, at least for DC, like when
What if he says it in
Batman,
his sleep? Oh, God, I'm a former man. Oh, fuck.
when you think about it, when like, isn't it when like Batman gets stuck and it's something with the mystic arts, he goes to Etrigan. Like
Yeah.
he's like kind of a historian also.
Yep, he's a blood. I'm here. Don't call me Jason Cripp. It's Jason Blood.
On the opposite end, would Raz Al Ghul?
I don't think he is.
He's not mystic. He just
No, he
found
just goes into
the
Lazarus
pools.
spits. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lazarus pools. Hey, it's Adult Swim. Get out of there. Lazarus pools.
Did I say
Lazarus hot tub,
pools?
dude. Lazarus hot tub.
Lazarus hot tub.
Sorry.
You guys living? Yeah. You were dead? Yep, me too. Alive now.
Did I say pools? Sorry.
Legs are still dead. Almost there.
He's in the deep end and he can't swim.
I'm drowning, but I'm still gonna be alive.
Who else would qualify for mystic arts? There would be Dr. Fate.
Strange.
What's her face?
The girl with the hood. The girl with the hood that's in Teen Titans and stuff.
Raven.
Oh, Raven.
Raven.
Nice. Yeah.
Raven, though, her storyline is wild, like because it's more demonic.
Yeah.
Like
And
'cause-
what's
yeah.
his name? Trigon.
Trigon.
Yeah.
Trigon, tripod.
Trigon.
Jackie Chan from Jackie Chan Adventures, the grandpa with the lizard.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else is in the. So Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, Scarlet
Who's-
Witch.
There's another Justice League woman. What is her name? The one
Zatanna?
in like Zatanna.
Tana.
Yeah, that's
She's
what I'm
kind of cool
thinking.
too. Just because she'd be
Yeah.
like speaking in reverse. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes,
pretty cool.
yes, yes, yes.
If they ever do Zatanna, they gotta cast Jim Carrey.
In the tights, in the stockings, the fishnet stockings.
He can talk reverse.
Super slow mo. Is it Tanner right there?
He does the football spike. Goodness. Yeah, there's a lot, but I don't know. Yeah, if I would have a top 5.
I think
There's just
I think
practitioners, not the wild
It
ones.
seems like
Right,
it
top
seems
five
like
nurse
DC.
practitioners.
we can't name names. Don't name
Oh,
names.
no, I was going Claire Temple from Daredevil. That's all the nurse I know. In Marvel.
I think it seems like DC has more mystic arts
Definitely.
type.
When you
people.
think about it, Marvel has a lot
Yeah,
of
more
like
popular ones.
mutants. Huh?
DC has more popular ones, I think.
Yeah.
Marvel has some. I just can't name them right now.
I feel like Marvel deals a lot with extraterrestrial, like planetary exploration and mutants. They don't really go into the occult. Because DC, I mean, like they have Superman. They also go off world, but
Intergalactic, planetary.
Stupid. DC has that one starfish, right?
Starro. It's just like, I'm Superman.
You got to put that in a Pokeball. That's how you defeat it.
Yeah.
What was your other one, Matt? You said top 5 something else.
Oh,
Said nurse practitioners.
Oh yeah.
On that
Said
vein,
something
thank
else.
you, all first responders.
I'm gonna think of more top 5s based on the next themes of the podcasts.
That would make sense.
So it's not such a weird segue. Talk about
Martial
ninjas.
artists. It would have made sense if we went TMNT martial artists Wanda, but it's cool.
Yeah, you're right.
We're learning.
Whatever. This
Yeah.
is cool. I got a game that I want to end on. It's called Elseworlds. So I'm gonna name. We played this earlier, but not for the podcast. I'm gonna name a plot of a movie and name the actors based on their hero roles, and you got to guess what movie it is.
Wait, repeat.
I'm gonna lay out a plot of a movie, but I'm gonna name the actors' heroes, and you have to put together what movie it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the premise is Mysterio and Luis are partners. Crossbones is their police chief, and they work alongside Hellboy.
Wait, hold on.
SWAT.
You said Mysterio?
No. Mysterio and Luis are partners.
Oh, it's End of Watch.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, here's another one. Mysterio fucks Joker. I'm sticking.
It's Brokeback, dude. That's Brokeback.
Jokeback Mountain.
Gross.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm gonna try to come up with one for every podcast.
That's cool.
I immediately jumped to SWAT because I was going through Netflix. I was like,
So
oh,
that would
what's
be
that?
Bullseye works for Nick Fury. Who else is in that movie? And Hawkeye becomes the bad guy.
I just remember there's Avengers in there. Man, too good.
All right. Anything else we're gonna cover this? It's already been like an hour and something.
Yeah. I'm hoping
no.
that we will find out more about if they're doing old Batman with Terry McGinnis. I'm hoping that we find out more about that soon. Yeah, I really don't know.
Is it? I thought it was just rumors at this point.
It's
Is it-
rumors still, but I want.
What is it gonna be? Is it
some
gonna be?
shit.
Is it gonna be a
There's
type
always
of?
some
Is
shit.
it gonna be a show? Is it gonna be a set of movies?
I think it's a movie, isn't it? They casted what's his face as he's gonna
Michael
be the new Batman moving forward from
Pattinson.
Pattinson's. Yeah.
Oh, who's gonna be the new Batman after Pattinson?
I thought they already got what's his face? The reason why we're speculating about old Bruce.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? Michael Keaton?
Yes.
I thought that was just a rumor. I don't know if they actually confirmed it.
I thought that was that just has to do with the Flash movie.
The Flashpoint movie.
Yeah.
Oh, is it only Flashpoint? I was hoping
Yes.
that it was okay. All right. I just got excited because I really like that story arc.
All right. Is that gonna do it?
I think that's it.
That's the end of the podcast. If you guys agree, disagree, don't let us know in the comments because we don't give a fuck. We're
We
all
ain't gonna
right.
listen to him. We
Yeah,
ain't gonna listen
we're
to him.
always right. Opinions are wrong. Fuck out of here. Like and screw it. No, don't like, don't subscribe. Get the fuck out of here.
I will say like if you agree that
fuck you.
Wolverine is useless.
Yo, there you go. Thumbs up if you think Wolverine's overrated. So homework assignment for next week, New Mutants. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm gonna watch it this week. So we're gonna discuss New Mutants.
I'm down for that.
It's just a movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so New Mutants
in addition
in the
to
next
Wanda.
episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe we should try to cover a comic too.
Okay.
I will look into when the next TMNT is released. I know it's February and February's tomorrow. So we'll see.
Or maybe we could talk about top 5 martial artists next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right.
All right, guys. Late.
Bye.